That first weekend, the opening of the 9/11 Christian Center at Ground Zero was a very special time. Part of what made that weekend so special was our trip to Ground Zero, guided by one of the true heroes of that day, a firefighter trapped in the rubble for hours. His faith in Jesus saved him. You're going to hear from that hero today. This is a program you don't want to miss. Stay tuned for today's edition of Live Prayer.
What problems are you dealing with in your life right now?
Do you feel like giving up? Times are hard and you're not strong. Well, I know the answer for you, and it will lead to real truth. Don't look back to yesterday.
Now there are answers.
Tomorrow's on the
Welcome to
way.
Live Prayer.
It's waiting there for you.
Here's your host, Bill Keller.
You can make it through. There is a hope for you today.
And welcome to Live Prayer. I'm Bill Keller. It's good to have you with me on this Wednesday as we are using this entire week of programming to relive that first weekend, the opening weekend of the 9/11 Christian Center at Ground Zero. Don't forget, we're there every Sunday at the New York Marriott, 11 o'clock in the morning. We'll be there every Sunday till the end of the year. And then January 1st, we move into our permanent facility by Ground Zero, where we will hold evangelistic services 7 days a week. It's a great undertaking. It's a great vision from God. It's taken a lot of faith, but it's also taken people like you praying for me and supporting me to help make all this happen, and I deeply appreciate it. Of course, I'm Bill Keller, founder of LivePrayer.com, the world's largest interactive Christian website. I'd invite you to come visit us at LivePrayer.com, and when you go there, don't forget to click the link for the 9/11 Christian Center website as well and check that out. Lots of great video, some of the stories that have been written nationally and internationally about us recently, so check it all out at the 9/11 Christian Center website, and you can link that from our main website, LivePrayer.com. Today's program, I'm going to share some of my personal reflections of that first weekend. And the weekend really got off to a great start as we met one of the true heroes of our day, firefighter Vinnie Forrest. And he took us to a very special place by Ground Zero that the public isn't really allowed to get to. And it gives you an incredible view and perspective of that hallowed ground. And I had an opportunity to stand there with Vinnie as he shared his testimony. And I want you to hear that testimony right now. This is Bill Keller, founder of LivePrayer.com, the 9/11 Christian Center at Ground Zero. And as you can see, we are overlooking Ground Zero. It's a very special honor for me today to have a man who is a true hero, a New York firefighter who was part of that infamous scene back on 9/11, 2001. And we're here overlooking Ground Zero so he can share with you an incredible testimony, not only of faith, but a testimony of God's sustaining power. It's my privilege to introduce to you Vincent Forrest, New York Fire Department. And Vincent, I just want you to share with the audience, first of all, kind of a little bit of who you are, what your occupation was that day, and how this area is never going to be forgotten in your mind.
Yeah, never will. And first, thank you for coming to my neck of the woods, and welcome to what I consider for me holy ground. And for me, 9/11 was a day very similar to today, a very blue, beautiful sky. And I was both a businessman and a volunteer firefighter up in Westchester County. I had been for 15 years. And when this first call came in, we thought it was a small plane crash like everyone else. And then once the second one hit, we knew we were under attack. And it was my privilege to respond along with the rest of the guys. Many of my dear friends who died that day on FDNY are probably looking down on us from heaven. And we're a little bit closer here because we're up on top of a pretty nice sized roof overlooking Ground Zero, and it's such an honor to have you share this with me because very few people actually get to stand here or film here. And because of what you're doing, I feel honored to participate. And You know, I responded. It's called answering the call, and it's what we are called to in life in many ways. Whether you're a plumber, a firefighter, a policeman, a reverend, whatever your calling is, if you respond with your heart and all of you, your feelings, what you are, that's a blessing from God that He allows us to do these things. And so that was my privilege to answer the call. And when I did arrive at Ground Zero, our first effort was to hopefully rescue people that could be trapped. And so my efforts were to be crawling down very tight beams, confined space rescue, which I was trained very well in. I was no fear of that kind of thing until it collapsed on me. And I found myself trapped in what felt like just the hollow of a beam. And it was in the middle of the night. It was pitch black. I couldn't move. I was trapped like a cork. And your body goes through and your mind goes through a lot of different things and panic and such. And I had the feeling that I was going to die. The heat was radiating up from beneath Ground Zero. It was literally hell. I think that's what hell could be like. Until the time that I prayed to God. And at that moment, when I prayed to God and asked Him to please let my children know that what I was doing here was good, that I was trying to help other people, and just please find me so my kids have somebody, to hug in the end, and I'm ready to go. Like, it was this feeling of peace that came over me, that God was with me, and I knew He didn't come from afar. He's inside of us. That's the moment I knew. But what really was the revelation was actually the gift of holding my infant babies in my hands beneath that rubble. Like you and I are standing here right now, it's that real. I could touch them. I felt them naked, and I could smell the baby smell of my children, which is the most beautiful smell in the world. And for those who are watching this and feeling what I'm saying, who were at Ground Zero, you know that the smell of Ground Zero was the worst, horrible smell of death that permeated everything. So that every sense of me told me this was real, that God was with me. And He somehow told me to go deeper down, go deeper into hell to get out. And I did. And I felt my way around. I had a watch on me that had a compass on it. I knew that I was towards the South Tower, which is pretty much this side of the site. Where I was trapped is directly over my shoulder. And after 2 hours, I didn't get myself out. God lit the way. And I walked out of a lobby in this building right next to us here, and I crawled up the stairs and I opened the side doors, and all the lights, the rescue lights of Ground Zero, were shining at that door. So that was the light that I went to. And with everything I am and everything I know more than anything after that horrible tragedy where so much death happened, that God never left my side. And the fact that I merely had to turn to Him for comfort, for guidance, lets me know that after this, there's something so much greater. Not that I'm looking forward to it, but I have no fear after this of going.
You know, my friends, I don't know what you're going through today. I don't know what your trials or tribulations may be, what your circumstances are, but I do know this. Just like this brave hero next to me, the same God that sustained him through those hours and led him to the light is the same God that will sustain you and lead you to the light of His love. So all I can do is implore you as we stand here today by this hallowed ground, this sacred ground, this holy ground, know that God, the same God that sustained Vincent Forrest that day, that we will never forget, is the very same God who will sustain you today. Powerful, powerful how our faith can sustain us even in a dark moment like being trapped under the rubble of a horror like 9/11. But that's how great our God is. Listen, we've got our first break coming up. When we come back, I'm going to play for you my actual interview with firefighter Vinnie Forrest and hear his comments about that fateful day of 9/11. Stay tuned. I'm Bill Keller of LivePrayer, and I need your help. God has challenged me to open the 9/11 Christian Center at Ground Zero. This is a response to the new mosque that's being built within a block of the World Trade Center towers used to stand. The Muslims are spending $110 million to build this mosque. God said to me to go put a Christian center within a block of Ground Zero, and that's what we're doing. We're going to open this center on Sunday, September 5th. I'll be flying personally to New York to hold those services every Sunday till the end of the year. And then starting January 1st, the center will literally be open 24/7. We'll hold evangelistic services there every day. We'll have a special 9/11 memorial prayer room so that those who come to New York City to visit that hallowed ground will have a place to come and meditate, pray, just spend some quiet time. This is a great undertaking. I can't do this alone. I need your help. To give a gift to the 9/11 Christian Center, you can go to liveprayer.com. Click on the donation link on the left menu bar. There you will find a secure server so you can make a gift with your major credit card, or you can give via PayPal. Or if you want to just drop a check to us, that's great. You can send that to our headquarters in St. Petersburg, Florida. That address is on your screen. In the information line of your check, just put 9/11 Christian Center, and your gift will go to this great undertaking. Islam is a 1,400-year-old lie from hell. The audacity of the Muslims to build a center in the shadows of where the Trade Center towers that their Muslim brothers knocked down, killing 3,000 innocent people, is a travesty. People are upset. I'm upset, but we're taking action. Sunday, September 5th, we will put our faith to the test as we open the 9/11 Christian Center at Ground Zero. I need your help. I need your prayers. I need your support. Thank you, and God bless you. Let me say a big thank you for helping me, standing with me, making all this possible. It's your love, your prayers, your support that helps me be in New York every weekend, taking the gospel to Ground Zero, taking a bold, visible, permanent stand against the Islamic Victory Mosque that they propose to build there. You know, we heard Vinny's great testimony, and afterwards I had a chance to chat with him a little bit up there by that beautiful vantage point of Ground Zero, and I want to play that interview for you right now. Now, Vinny, let me just ask you a few questions. When you're from New York, correct?
Yes, I grew up in Queens, New York, and with a name like Cousin Vinny and this accent, yeah, I guess so.
All right, so you've lived in and around the city your whole life. As you came up upon Ground Zero that day, what were your thoughts?
On the way in,